Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for evacuation orders, law enforcement activity, missing persons, more. Choose up to 5 locations that matter to you, like home, work, and school, so you know what's going on and what to do next. It's free, easy to set up, and designed to keep you in control. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.
Well, crew, we are back here on Peaks to Plains Weather because we were kind of moving from thunderstorm coverage to now coverage about a wildfire that is started in Oklahoma. It's called the Sharpe Fire and is moving toward Campo, Colorado. An evacuation has been issued for Campo. I'm going to loop radar down here over the last couple of hours. This is Tamco Live Radar. What you're looking at there is the smoke plume from the Sharpe Fire that has been moving to the north out of Oklahoma. It is windy in this area, and I have been talking to some folks down here, and I have a couple pieces of information that I am going to share with you. But if you are in the Campo area, you have been asked to evacuate your location. The evacuation is issued from Road 24 to Road 36, south of Road J to the state line. So Road J on the north, state line on the south, and from Road 24 to Road 36. So people in the area know where these roads are. County Road J goes east and west out of Campo. And then Road 24 is west of town about 2 miles, maybe a little bit more than that, to Road 36, which is about, looks like 4-ish miles to the west of town. I have a report that the fire has crossed Highway 287. I am not able to confirm that at this time, but a water or a retardant drop has been done this afternoon. Here's a look at that video. And you can see it one more time. What you're looking at there, crew, is Highway 287. I'm pretty confident in that. Highly likely here. So from Campo South to the Oklahoma line, we have an evacuation due to a fire. There is a shelter in Springfield. This fire is 13,000 acres and has been moving off to the northeast here over the last little bit. So let me put on here for you, trying to grab, let's see, what do I need? Sometimes trying to talk and do this at the same time gets hard. But the wildfire here is actually off to the south and kind of started, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry about that. Let me undo that. Here we go. I've started back somewhere in here over Oklahoma and has moved into Colorado this afternoon. Might have actually moved into Colorado yesterday. Still trying to figure that part out. But it has been moving off to the northeast, and you can see with the smoke plume how that makes sense because the smoke plume is blowing off to the northeast. So just giving some heads up here that there is a situation in the southern part of Colorado where we have some of our neighbors that have been asked to evacuate due to a wildfire. This is called the Sharpe Fire. Like Shannon Sharpe spelling. So this is the fire that is causing the evacuation. And we have southwest wind in this area that has blown the fire close enough to Campo that there is now an evacuation from Campo, right in the middle of town on Road J, to the state line. And that's about a 7-mile window. And then from about, and I am guesstimating here, from about 2 miles east of Campo to about, what did I say? 4 miles or so to the east of there. So 2, 4, that might be too long. Let me undo that. Anyways, there's a box down in this area where we have evacuations. And so weather is causing a problem down there. There's no doubt about that. Now, I am going to show you the visible satellite from this area. And I don't know if we will see the smoke plume or not. This is the last 4 hours. And oh yeah, we definitely have the smoke plume down there. Let me back this out. And let me see if I can change. See if I can get the smoke plume to kind of jump out with some different color tables here. Yeah, this is going to be our best bet. So your eye picks that up, the smoke plume as well that we are seeing on radar. And you can see when it was brighter there, that came with a burst of some activity. That may have been the fire getting into some fuel that burned easier. But they are actively fighting the fire this afternoon with a retardant drop. And this is from one of the crews that were in the fire there, as you can see. And so anytime this happens, you know, we want to keep everyone in our thoughts and prayers. and you can see the fire burning from Campo. The smoke plume is visible. So you can imagine that that is a situation where that is obviously of concern for people that have been asked to evacuate. If you are in this area and you are in a safe place and not being asked to evacuate, if you are in Kim or Springfield or Walsh, or in an area outside of the evacuation, you can come on to our coverage here at Peaks to Plains Weather and be a part of it. And what you will do is put one of these links into the browser on your phone, and it will ask you for permission to use your camera and your microphone. And then you can come on here with us and you can share what you are seeing as this fire moves toward Campo on Highway 287. It may have crossed Highway 287 and be east of the highway now. So it came into Colorado to the southwest of Highway 287 and is moving off to the northeast here. So it is somewhere within a matter of miles in the vicinity of Campo. I would guesstimate somewhere maybe about 4 to 6 miles, perhaps less than that, in the vicinity of Campo. Let's talk about what on the large scale is happening in this area. So if we look at current conditions down in this area, let's see here. Let's pull up our wind speed and we'll look at Springfield's out of the southwest at 12 miles per hour. Gusting to 20, but in the vicinity of the fire, I'm sure it's stronger than that. And check out the dew point down in that area. What is wild is that we still have a 43-degree dew point at the automatic weather station that the federal government has as part of the Springfield observation. And so humidity in this area is running 23% because that is one of our warmer spots today. If you look at the temperature in that area, it is 85. So even though the dew point is up in the 40s, the relative humidity is relative to the temperature. And so it is pretty low out there. Now, it's not as low as Walsenburg and Trinidad, where we're below 15%, but the weather conditions don't really matter when that is what you're looking at there. So there is active firefight ongoing here in Baca County this afternoon. So let's bring this up. I'm editing something really quick here. All right, so you are looking at the fire drop there, and it's pretty fascinating video. Obviously, you see some smoke from where the video was taken. This is, let's see, if that is blowing from left to right, that means that this video was taken south. Yeah, it was taken kind of south of maybe some of the flames there, but pretty interesting to see. No doubt about that. So due to the large-scale wind that we have in the area, we've got that fire blowing to the northeast. Let me pull up some wind gusts here over this area, and I'm going to have to edit the time frame here. So this is from the last time that we were doing fire coverage down in this area. We will move the fire location down here, and we will also move this and call it the Sharpe Fire. Okay, now I'm going to change the clock on our data here to this afternoon. We'll do current time, and we'll take it through tonight. We want to see what is going to happen here over the next several hours with the wind in this area. So there we go. We'll save that. Okay. All right, now let me bring this on. Okay, so we've got on the Raton Mesa here, southwest wind that's been developing as the front that came south over a lot of the plains this morning has been retreating. And it's in this southwest wind that we are seeing this push of the fire toward Campo here this afternoon. Over the next several hours, and we're looking at gusts here from the computer model, and we may continue to see the drier air spread to the north a little bit, so that dew point may drop a little bit more over the next couple of hours, and we may continue to see gusty wind here as we move into the evening. Let's move this forward and see probably not a huge change as we move into the evening. So we've got a 4 to 5 hour stretch here of some critical fire weather conditions that will continue for those that are in the path of and fighting the Sharpe Fire that has moved out of Oklahoma. I am in the process here of downloading the national fire perimeters so I can show you where this was as of last report to give you an idea of where the fire came from and kind of how it's moving toward Highway 287. There's a big jog in the highway south of Campo. Let me pull back up our ability to map some things here. The fire is kind of moving right toward the more south. Well, it's the south jog from Campo here. So the fire is moving toward this jog of Highway 287 as it kind of makes a run back to the east a little bit and then heads south toward Oklahoma. So the fire has been moving kind of this way this afternoon. I don't have a speed on it, but that's sort of visually what it looks like. And again, that's being fanned by a southwest wind. So if we measure how far south of town, and I know there's many of you in this area who know exactly how far that jog is, 3 miles south of town. And why do I bring that up? Because you can see this jog in this video here. Now, I'm not sure which end of that jog we are on, but that's a visual cue that we can use to put puzzle pieces together. So it's, I would say, at least 3 miles south, or at least when that video was taken of that airdrop south of Campo. And so that is good news. And obviously, if they are having a hard time containing that, there may be some issues. They're concerned. You have to get people out of these places before the fire is on the doorstep. So the video was shared. So there's a gentleman who shared that with Mary on her Facebook page, and the video is from his son who is helping fight the fire. So it is a crew in that area who shared it with Peaks to Plains Weather. Mary, thank you for that update. I appreciate that. Also, this is from Radio Chatter, so I can't confirm this, but there is a road that is 2 miles to the south of town. So actually to the north of where we just were trying to put these pieces together, that is holding the fire. And so that would in all likelihood be County Road GG, perhaps, or maybe Cow Road down in that area. I am putting some pieces together here, but for those of you in that area or that are familiar with it, that may be a useful tool for you. So if I can zoom in here, let me take this ruler off. You can see here that there are a couple roads that are dirt roads, it looks like, that are south of the jog on Highway 287. This road here, put this on. All right. Wanting to do. This is Cow Road that I mentioned. And this road over here is County Road F. And then it looks like this is an old railroad line here, through here, I believe, or perhaps a old railroad line or something like that. Could be a transmission line also, possibly. I can't tell from the satellite imagery. So that is, somewhere between 2 and 3 miles to the south of Campo. If we put all of the pieces together, and that's what you have to do in real time, is you're putting detective work together with pieces of information that you see. But again, there is an evacuation for the town of Campo from Road J, County Road J, which runs east to west out of Campo, south to the Oklahoma line, and that is a 7-mile distance there. And this evacuation does straddle Highway 287. So it's areas east and west of Campo to the south. And if I was going to maybe draw you a really rough evacuation sort of line here, it looks something like this. Oops. So it's a box. Oops, sorry. Let's undo that. Let me try that again, crew. Okay, let's reset. Sometimes you need to reset when you're doing things in real time. This is, of course, south central Baca County in the southeastern corner of Colorado. And so our evacuation, really, really rough here. You've got to give me some wiggle room. Looks something like this. And I'll work on getting that input into here as well. So that's kind of our box of evacuation, something like that. Everybody in this area knows this is a small town. Everyone takes care of everyone. I know that. And but again, it is due to the Sharpe Fire that has come into Colorado from Oklahoma off to the southwest. And you can see a smoke plume here visible on radar. And that is an indication to us that, yes, indeed, we have had some active fire growth in this area this afternoon. So I will annotate that. I'm going to share that on social media, but just wanted to pop on here and give you an update about this fire. Obviously, we don't want to see anyone dealing with evacuations, and we are, unfortunately, this afternoon. So Mary is working on gathering some info right now. I am working on it as well with a contact I have in the area. Let's see, annotate this for you. Okay, so what we're going to do is, again, over the next couple of hours, I don't expect any weather improvement from this fire that is now burning in Colorado. That's coming to Colorado from the south. So again, somewhere, if you're just joining us, between 2 and 3 miles, I believe, to the south of Campo. And there is an urgent, this is from the Baca County Emergency Management, mandatory evacuations are now in place for Campo from Road 24 to 36. South of Road J to the state line due to wildfire. They say that there is an active threat to life and property. Do not wait, and to check on neighbors. Call 911 only for life-threatening emergencies. Evacuate to the north as fires are to the south and moving, it says to the northwest. I think they mean to the northeast there, but they are typing this information fast as well. A shelter is open in Springfield at the school. Of course, lots of kids from the school, the high school, were in Denver the last couple of days for the state track meet. But we'll keep an eye on this. I'm going to see if we can maybe get an interview from the area that we can share with you. We will push updates in the weather app, Peaks to Plains weather app, peakstoplainsweather.com on social media. And just be aware. Hold on a second. Okay, I have some new video that I'm going to pull up here that Mary is grabbing. And let me get that for you before we kind of get you back to what you're doing on this Sunday. Thanks for checking in with us. All right. So you are going to see this for the first time with me. Let me get this pulled up. All right, here we go. Brand new video from the Sharpe Fire. This is from Saturday night as we are sitting here on Sunday afternoon, and I am just going to let you watch this along with me here. So this might be from, looks like perhaps early this morning. We'll play that again. You can see on the right-hand side there, it looks like there was some light of day, but that's really tough for me to tell. Also, there's some fire off in the distance you can see on the right-hand side there. So, you know, this is at the best time of night for firefighting efforts when things are laid down, and then you get the heating of the day, and obviously it gets more active there. But you can see that plume. Let me stop this video right there. Back. See how there's a plume off in the distance there from that video? And then what I thought I was seeing kind of right on the right-hand side of the screen, you see the sky, how it's a little bit light? That may be the light of day. So that could have been it was probably from early this morning if I look at the behavior of that fire. That again, we can see now on the Doppler radar. And that tells us that yes, indeedy, the fire has been active. That is what the radar's seeing there is particulates up in the atmosphere. So I'm going to type something really, really quick here. And while I am doing that, I am going to let you look at the video of the drop that occurred this afternoon. And I'm still here. I'm just typing really quick. You are on Peaks to Plains weather, and we are watching an active fire burning toward Campo, Colorado, in the southeastern corner of the state. right, crew. Mary is coming back on. I see her. She's getting ready here. She may have some information to share with us. Mary, if you're ready, give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you in. Okay, she's getting ready for some stuff here. So I am going to continue to let you see the smoke plume. I'm typing something for social media. I don't type and speak and try to do all this well at the same time, I have learned. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Mary is ready with some information now, so let me bring her back in. Mary, thanks for getting that video off to us. What do you have?
Yeah. I don't have anything immediate. I think you probably need to focus, and I can carry this for a minute if you want to.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Come in and
Thank
you for just a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, let me pop in, and if you want to, I'll just kind of talk over some graphics right now.
Sure.
If you want to get to work on whatever you're trying to kind of do, I know you're trying to walk and talk at the same time, and sometimes that can be hard. As we understand it, though, the Sharpe Fire has been ongoing in New Mexico for the last several days, or northeastern New Mexico, Oklahoma, and has continued to spread. And there's also other fires in that area that we're tracking as well. So this time of year, especially, we're still in a transition season, still in spring, and wind is always more of a culprit. And you really have to watch these fires potentially merging together. So that's what we're watching for. Of course, we have the Black Mesa Trail Fire off to the west, the Ballard Fire off to the east. Right now, doesn't show any signs of kind of jumping around, but it did spread pretty rapidly just over the last 24 to 36 hours. As we understand it, the crews have been really working on the fire as it jumped over into the Colorado state line. It looks like it was Saturday evening. And now, as Matt has been telling you, the Campo area is under those mandatory evacuations. If you are watching us and you know of anyone that lives in this area or is evacuating and would like to speak with us on what they are seeing, or kind of what they're going through, just to kind of give our viewers added perspective. Because this isn't a remote area, but it doesn't take much this time of year for fires to spread extremely rapidly. You're looking at the smoke plume coming up there because winds are out of the southwest. Remember, the winds are feeding into our low pressure center that is to our north. So as the system gets closer to southern Colorado, it's going to allow those southwest winds to ramp up more. So it's a good possibility we have those ongoing winds that will ramp up even more overnight tonight and through early tomorrow morning. The good news is, though, we do look for some rain and some relief in this area by hopefully late Monday, and certainly by Tuesday and Wednesday. That's going to be possible. Matt, I'm not sure if you can still hear me. I've been trying to kind of track down someone that we could maybe talk to, and coming up a little bit empty-handed because I think a lot of people are busy kind of taking care of this. In terms of what we were discussing earlier, I did reach out to a state of Colorado wildfire folks. I know that the Southeast Division, I think that might be the person that could have taken that video. Seems to share possibly the same last name as the gentleman that I got the video from, but
okay.
Unsure. I can tell you, though, the Denver media stations are on top of it now because they've seen our video. So
nice.
Yeah. So, something that, a lot of people think this is in kind of a remote area, but, it doesn't matter. These are people's homes.
Right.
And it looks like because of the mandatory evacuations on property, probably that tanker, even though that tanker was very big that we saw earlier, possibly the only resource that they had, but they're probably attacking it pretty aggressively just because it's life and property. So
yeah, that video, both that we got is pretty incredible stuff. And, here is that first video that you got sent on social media, and that's Highway 287 there. And there's a jog that goes off kind of to the southeast. To the south of Campo, and I think that's what we're looking at there. So they're trying to use not just that retardant drop, but also other roads in the area, these sort of man-made barriers that are pre-existing to stop this thing from going to the north.
Yeah, did you see the video from Saturday evening?
Yeah, I have that as well. That is right here. And
I guess this was a spray bumper that kind of helps to kind of kill those hot spots. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Fighting fire is, I don't know what you think, but the folks that do that are just incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's unbelievable. I mean, to get down into those spots like that, I have such great respect for what they do.
Oh,
you know?
Absolutely. I'm going to check messages here and see if I have anything really fast.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I wonder how many so people are evacuating to Springfield schools, was that correct?
Springfield School up to the north, yep.
I wonder approximately how many people that is. And if they're going to have to stay in place tonight, I would assume so. I mean, because the winds are only going to ramp up tonight through tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I think they've got a rough go of, the weather situation down there doesn't change a lot between now and tomorrow afternoon. It's like this persistent area of south wind. And we can take this, I don't know if you saw that I had this earlier here, but I'm going to run this into tomorrow now. And we'll take this through the early morning and into noon. So, here we sit this afternoon, coming up on 4 o'clock now, and you see the Sharpe Fire there on the bottom of the map. And you know what? I'm going to move it. There we go. So, let me name this here Sharpe Fire.
And that really exploded over the last 10 hours.
Over the last what?
10 hours. It looks like it went from 3,500 acres to over 10,000. I didn't fully realize that.
Wow. So here overnight, we do get the wind, and we're looking at gusts here. That's not good. I don't like seeing these wind shifts. So from this afternoon and the southwest wind that we get, it looks like either outflow or it's probably the front makes another push in from the northeast overnight. Mm-hmm. And, the wind shifts, obviously, they can be helpful if the fire blows back on itself, but it can also cause issues if it starts, blowing an end of the fire in a new direction. And it gets kind of gusty into tomorrow morning for a while before some of the speeds pull back. And again, these are gusts, so this is the high end of things. Sustained wind will be less than that. But they know this is coming and they plan for this, and when they can, they use this to their advantage. But then through the morning tomorrow, Mary, here you go, you see again, here comes that, the front starts retreating to the north again. Whoops, sorry about that. Front starts retreating to the north again, and you get into Monday afternoon, and here comes the desert air back over the Raton Mesa again. So that's not good.
Until we get some moisture in there, it's going to be problematic for another 24 hours at least.
Right.
I was trying to look. Were we able to get anyone on the phone over in this area?
No, I haven't seen anybody. I do have a contact that they're a little bit busy at the moment. But they are hoping to perhaps join us a little bit later on this afternoon, if they can.
Yeah.
So
I always get kind of nervous in this area. I mean, there's been so many fires that I've covered in the panhandle of Oklahoma and up across southwestern Kansas that they start off as these smaller fires and they just grow together to one massive fire. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but it's always a possibility, especially when your wind is, a staple in the forecast, especially this time of year. But the good news is we've got moisture coming to that area. Hopefully that far south, we'll start to see something on Tuesday.
Right.
And that could be a lot worse. At least we've got some moisture in the forecast. But, watching some of the other fires around that area too, I was actually trying to pull up satellite and see how
go ahead.
The hotspot looked like. But you drive the system, I can actually find that on the GOES.
Okay. The county that is the westernmost county in the panhandle of Oklahoma, Mary, is called Cimarron County.
Yes.
And there are, I'm going to put where these fires are here in this county.
The Black Mesa fire and what was the other one?
Yeah, the Black Mesa. There's the Ballard fire a little east of there. And then there's the Tex Oak, like Texas, Oklahoma fire a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there are 3 fires. The Black Mesa Trail Fire is the smallest fire. At last check, it was 1,500 acres. The Sharpe Fire, as of this afternoon, from the Oklahoma Forestry Service, updated it to over 13,000 now. So and then the Ballard Fire, which is the east of those 3 fires that are pretty close to the state line, that one's also burning in Baca County. Made a run up to the northeast yesterday. That one's 18,400 and some change at last check. And then that Tex Oak fire farther to the south is approaching 25,000 acres. So that county is having a hard time right now in the vicinity of Keys, Oklahoma. It's a rough kind of Sunday afternoon.
I know. So if it was 3,500 acres 8 hours ago, and now we're talking over 13,000 acres. Yeah, that's definitely exploded.
Yeah, that's rough.
I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Campo. Evacuation.
Yeah, there are a couple. I'm seeing a couple of smoke plumes. I think I do over Boise, Oklahoma. I do see a smoke plume as this loops through that looks like it's from the Tex Oak fire. But man, the visible satellite on there is just not. Let me see if I can edit this color table.
I'm going to check just a couple things here.
Yeah, go ahead.
While you do that, these special weather statements, man, they are just relentless.
What, video request?
No, these special weather statements.
Oh.
Wink.
Well, yeah, on a totally unrelated note, there is that storm we were looking at earlier does have a severe thunderstorm warning on it.
It's like white on rice, man. They just kind of come at you pretty hard.
Look at that. Woo.
Let's see. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that thing driving right east on I-70. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning up for all the towns that are on I-70 there, just kind of running from west to east. And this storm, 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, right? We talked about that becoming more likely, and ping-pong ball-sized hail. A 67-mile-an-hour gust was measured at the Lyman Airport as the storm moved through, and has a history of doing the classic high plains of Colorado accumulating hail that you need to get these snowplows out for.
Yeah, that's definitely one to do that with. We got about a foot of Dippin' Dots. Kidding.
I bet those folks wish they were Dippin' Dot size.
I know, not Dippin' Dots today. No. Definitely not. Okay, I was trying to check the gentleman that left me the video. Let's see.
Yeah, that is a heck of a...
Springfield, 20 miles north. Patrick says he's in Springfield, 20 miles north of Springfield, seeing a lot of smoke. I wonder where the closest, I mean, it doesn't really matter, the closest actual burning is taking place in regards to the town.
Well, I have a note.
Showed it, right?
I can't confirm this, but I do have a note that says they are trying to use a road 2 miles to the south of town that is holding it. And so, 2 miles to the south, we can measure that here. So you see Campo, And if I just measure from Road J, right in the middle of town, south on Highway 287, there's 2 miles, and there is a road. You can see that line on the mapping.
Yeah.
Just to the south of the circular, the wheel roll fields, pastures there, fields. Maybe that's the road they're using. And so you can see why they would evacuate if that's where it is.
Yeah, certainly
no doubt
so.
about that.
Thankfully, in this area, you don't have a lot of trees. You have some trees, but when you get winds up over 30 miles per hour, you get more of those flying embers that can crown in the tops of those trees, and it can spread even faster. And I'm not saying it can't, wind can't carry embers across the plains. But when there's more fuel for it to catch on to, I'm sure that, adds insult to injury. I'm no firefighter. I'm talking outside of my jurisdiction here, but just based on the fires that I have covered, that's one of the things that we always see. Well,
and the other thing here is I wanted to drop this gain, not increase it. Off of what you were just talking about, I mean, the type of vegetation that is down there, I mean, this is what it is, right? There's little grasses and whatnot. Obviously, there's patches where the grasses are more significant than others. But in some cases down there, there's not a ton of fuel for that thing to use.
Yeah, not a lot to catch on to. And I mean, the winds could be a lot stronger too. I'm seeing a lot of, not to change the subject, but I'm seeing a lot of video of this little land spout, which I kind of agree with some of the other meteorologists talking about a little gustnado.
Oh, probably.
On an outflow boundary of a thunderstorm. That's all up towards the Denver area. So a lot of active weather today, We always talk about this time of year when fire and ice meet. I mean, you get snow and rain, and then fires in the Four Corners region or in the southeastern tier of the state. Got to get a little mixed bag of everything.
One of the craziest things I ever saw, I can't remember what year this was, but in the north part of Lincoln County, there was a blizzard warning. And in the south part of the county, there was a tornado warning at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, we're going to work on getting somebody on to talk to us, because it sounds like with the weather forecast and with the evacuations, those folks are probably not going back home tonight, wouldn't you say?
Right, yeah, I don't think so. I think you're exactly right.
I mean, you're talking about, another 24 hours being displaced here. So it's something we'll have to watch. And I mean, it's what is a town of over 2,000 people? So, hope that it doesn't kind of catch fire in that downtown area. So I know firefighters are doing a great job on this. I put a few phone calls into the Southeast District there that for the wildfire, Colorado, for the state. And we'll see if we can hear back.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take a little break here, but everybody in Springfield is aware of the situation, or I mean, in Campo is getting out of there. So it's not like, at this point we're doing a service to them. They are on the move. They are getting out of there. They've been asked to move to the north toward the Springfield area. But it is kind of stark, Mary, to see, this fire that is causing evacuations, and then not too far away, you have severe thunderstorms producing a bunch of hail. And that is how we roll in Colorado, as you said. So that's, 145 miles or so to the north is a completely different weather situation from what they are dealing with in Baca County. Right. Wild.
Yep. And if you're just now joining us, we were on earlier with the severe weather. If you're wondering, are there any more severe storms in our region today? The severe weather threat is just dwindling fast, and it kind of already has. The atmosphere has been a bit overworked, so we've got still enough destabilization to trigger a few showers. My husband just came downstairs and was like, "Hey, is it going to rain a little bit more? Because I want to put some fertilizer down on the grass." So we still have a few more showers expected through the afternoon, but it does look like, though. I was reading, I could be off here, that this fire was originally started from lightning.
Interesting. Okay.
I believe I did read that in one of the fire engine's posts that I sent you. So just goes to show you this time of year. Yes, they were headed south to help Baca County. I always say Baca. I know people say Baca. People there say Baca. I'm just trying to speak colloquially, so if anyone's wondering. Resources with multiple lightning starts along the Colorado-Oklahoma state line.
I mean, that makes sense to see those 3 that are down there lined up like that, right?
So, just kind of goes to show you, it's like this time of year, especially with those high-base thunderstorms, rain doesn't reach the ground, but the lightning does. So
Well, that's, we've got drought around the area, and that's kind of the situation here. So you have to take the good with the bad. We will keep working on any more information. If we get some, if we get any video, or if we have the ability to talk to somebody, and obviously it's really, really busy in Baca County right now. We understand why, and we want everyone to get out of the way. We'll pass that on to you. We'll post it on social media. We'll put it in the Peaks to Plains weather app, peakstoplainsweather.com. Our concept here, wherever you are, is where we are. I will say this, Mary, it's a good time to maybe talk about this. I put a post about this earlier today. When it comes to severe weather, lots of people interact with us on social media. But if I might just take a moment here and encourage you, if you haven't downloaded the Peaks to Plains weather app yet, to do so, because on social media, you may be in the path of something that we have put on social media, but you may not see that until maybe the next day because of the social media platform algorithm. So if you are in the path of something, Mary and I can send you a push alert if you have your location turned on, and we can tell you about something. So that's why we're doing this. We just want to take care of you and your family, help to keep your family safe. And, we can't guarantee that we can do that, even if we push that information out on a social media platform.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Well, let's keep the folks in Baca County in your thoughts, in your prayers. They need it as that Sharpe Fire continues to move off to the northeast this afternoon. Active aerial attacks on it. There is an evacuation for the town of Campo. This is Peaks to Plains weather, and we will jump back in as necessary if we have any additional information. The wind continuing in that area for meteorologist Mary Matthews. I'm Matt Meister, and we'll be back if needed. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon.